Up. No, 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 What was that? Whoa, what was that? No. No. Is anyone else having an echo?
I don't know.
Audrey, I think you're signed in twice, so you will get an echo.
I don't know.
I don't have an echo now.
You have two, you have your video on, and then there's also another rectangle where your video is off and it says your name, which
Okay,
shows you've signed in.
I don't know how to tap in. I'm gonna leave and try
And turn your volume down.
Hi, everybody.
היי, שלום. שבת
Shalom.
שלום.
Hey,
Can you hear me now, or am I still echoing?
We can
it's
hear
good
you now.
now.
Yeah, that's good. But now we can't see you though.
You can see me, okay? All right.
I'm gonna change my chair for a second because I
This is good.
chair.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Well, we can sing something while we wait. Or just chat. How was your week?
Good.
I was relaxing because of the snow. I stayed in, so that was fun.
Right. I feel like the city took this snow too seriously.
Exactly. But
Because
but
we
being
have
that I canceled everything, I just stayed in.
I know, yeah. People like, yeah, I know. Me too. I had like this kind of like 2 days off or anything. Yeah. Do you believe there's gonna be another serious snow this season? That's it?
Who knows? The uncertainty of life.
Exactly.
I have a lot of snow songs that I was waiting to do with the kids that I teach in the preschools.
Huh?
And they're all waiting. Like I tried to put all of them in that one snow day, but there was no school on that snow day, so it's kind of
Hmm.
a big problem for me.
And by the time there was school, snow was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a nice thought, though.
Well, they would remember it at least, didn't they? They could remember it.
Yeah. I feel it feels like for me snow is one of the strongest childhood memories. It's like
Mm.
In Jerusalem.
in Jerusalem, also because it was rare. Um, yes,
Yeah.
like you wait the entire season for it, and then it comes once. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's very magical. I mean, I remember the first time I saw snow. It's-
Where was it here in the city?
Yeah, not in the area, in here. Yeah. In the
I,
States.
rem- I remember what they used to have behind the Met, all the special slopes for kids. There was a saucer slope, there was a difficult slope, there was a beginner slope, and the kids would line up behind the Met.
wow.
Oh, that's
It was
cool.
really cool. There
Huh.
was that much snow that they could actually do that.
It's not like they don't do that anymore at all.
There's not enough snow.
Right.
There used to be mounds in Washington Square Park that used to be sledding mounds.
Wow.
Wow.
Even in
So, yeah.
Westchester, not much.
Hmm.
Yeah, Putnam County had 10 inches though, right above Westchester. It
Wow.
was,
We had maybe 5 or 6.
Hmm.
okay, that's respectable.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's funny that
Not
we're
enough for my cat to really dig under, though.
Yeah,
Is it Dawn talking?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Okay,
done.
there you are. Hi Dawn.
Hello.
It's funny that we're talking about snow because we're supposed to talk about challah.
Hmm.
What do you think better?
Challah and the
Snow
snow,
or
what
challah?
could be better?
We can change everything up now. We don't have to tell the administration. Okay, maybe we can start with a song,
Yes, let's start with the song.
and probably we'll have more people joining. And I thought of Shalom Aleichem. I'm always torn between the traditional one, which I love, I must say, and then one we usually do in the new Shul, the Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet. Do you have any preference, this specific group that we are.
I like the traditional one sometimes.
I do too.
Okay, so we had a Shabbat in person last week, and we did this one. So let's do the traditional one. Yeah. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharem, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Let's do some yain and nai together. Yain nai nai yain nai yain nai 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 yain nai nai yain nai 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 yain nai 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 yain nai 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 yain nai yain nai nai. בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Okay, Shabbat Shalom again.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
It was nice when everybody were open with their microphones. It just feels like we're together. So you feel free to do that. I don't mind the
Even
interruption.
in the singing with the.
Yeah, I know it
Yeah.
doesn't really work, but I feel like spirit
Okay,
works. I don't know.
Make her my
We can-
dog.
whatever you say, if you can stand it, we can stand it.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I understand there are like issues with timing in the Zoom and stuff like this. Like you hear it doesn't sound perfect, I know, but for me when I see it feels nice when we sing together. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll tell you why I thought about challah for this week. It started when Susan talked with me about what are we going to talk about this week. I was working on my challah song, so I teach these groups of toddlers Shabbat lessons, and we have a song list that repeats itself, and I try to find ways to make it interesting for myself, for the nannies, for the parents. So I came up with this challah recipe song, which is like a list song that I kind of list the ingredients, and then I said that this challah is going to be amazing, and the title of the song is "It's going to be fluffy," of course. And I started working on it that week when Susan called. A few I'm recording it. I still didn't find the right groove, the right tempo, the right instrumentation. I'm working on it because I think it's going to be a big hit. But I don't know. And also, it's an English song. I usually write Hebrew songs, so I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Anyways, and then I looked at the Parashat Truma, which is this week's Torah portion. It's about building the temple and collecting donations from the people of Israel. Lots of gold, silver, good stones, precious stones, perfumes, stuff like that. And there's also instructions about the challah, the lechem apanim, the bread of the inside or the bread of the face, or the constant bread. There are many translations. The challah that will be in the Mishkan, in the temple. Instructions how to bake it, how to form it, where to place it, when to replace it, and it's kind of like it's this element is special because it's like the only perishable thing in the Mishkan. And it worked really well with my challah song. And then I started reading about different aspects. Yes, Don?
Is the braiding traditional, and how far back does that go?
Right. So it's not the braiding is not mentioned in the Torah portion, and in that context, I don't know how far it goes. And I know that I know that other cultures do the braiding. So I don't know if it's I don't know how it I don't know if it's related to the Torah, the braiding itself. I always see the braiding as just making it special, but there probably a lot of stuff to read about it. So yeah, but yeah, it's a good question. And yeah, also the idea that it's a sweet bread. I always thought that it's kind of like to make it special that you put honey or sugar or yeah. But so I thought so my idea was to bring some challah stories and challah recipes and bring up these exact questions. But there's also a really interesting discussion around the Torah portion and about the bread in the Torah portion. I read some Rashi and some Levinas and some interpretations about why the bread and why it needs to be formed that way and why is it called the lechem apanim. Because Levinas deals a lot with the face and the human look at the face, so he kind of like takes it to the challah. So I think maybe we can start with the candles. I know we don't have we don't know who's lighting the candles today. So if anyone wants to volunteer and do the blessing for everybody, now is the right time. I also have candles here, but yeah. Does anyone have candles?
Did you have candles? You had candles there, I saw.
Very good.
I can do it.
Oh, great.
Amazing.
Surprise party. Okay, let's.
If
Here
you
they
want,
can-
I can play the blessing with you, or
Please, it's your service.
Hi, Marty.
Yeah, hi, Marty.
Hello, everybody.
We're having
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. אמן. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
So before I share some thoughts from Rashi and Levinas, does anyone have a challah story or a challah recipe or a challah tip?
I have a bread machine that made challah once.
Uh-huh.
You can do it in a bread machine.
Can it braid the challah?
No, not braided, not braided, no.
Every week now.
That's my only baking challah experience. Oh, I lived across the street from a bakery that baked challah. In the middle of that was in Israel. And at 4 a.m. on Thursday night, you would smell it and it would wake you up. And you could be driven to go across the street and get the warm challah because it smelled so good.
Sounds good.
Was it on Friday morning?
Yeah, it was Friday, not Thursday, Friday morning.
Like
Exactly.
Thursday night. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very nice smell, you know.
Which
and
where it was in
And were people queuing up like by 5 a.m.?
No, they weren't. I mean, no, they weren't queuing up. But there were a number of people that just kind of go in and out, and they knew that you could smell it in the whole neighborhood. So it was fun. The bakers were happy to accommodate.
I
Yeah.
sometimes go by bakeries like this here in Brooklyn, like in Williamsburg, and it's the same smell. It's funny. It's this
Yeah.
somehow.
I don't, not much else would get me out of bed at 4 or 5 in the morning.
I've been trying to not eat too much bread, but when I have a bite of challah, it makes me very happy.
Yes, I agree with that.
I want to make bread pudding with challah. I'm going to do
Oh,
that.
wow.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
How do you make bread pudding?
You cut up the bread and you know, maybe an egg and some milk and squish it in there and let it sit in the milk and soak up and then bake it.
Uh-huh. Because I have a lot of challah leftovers. I play these Shabbat lessons on Friday morning, and I have an example here. When a student doesn't come, I get their challah. Like this one belongs to
Send it over. I'll make some bread
uh,
pudding.
Jordan. This one belongs Jordan. Yeah. I have like, I don't know, maybe 5 more challahs in the freezers because I get them every week, and they're from a very good bakery in Crown Heights. They're amazing challahs.
Oh wow. Well, we have that.
So now I know how to make
What's the
bread pudding.
bakery? What's the
Well,
bakery?
well, it doesn't say actually. It's a magical bakery in Crown Heights.
I live near there. I need to. Bakery.
It's very good. It's yellow. I guess it has a lot of eggs in it. It's very sweet. I, it's like
Sweet.
yeah, it's a cake. It's ready to be pudding. Yeah.
Ready to be pudding. Yes, indeed.
Or a French toast at the very least.
Yes, French toast.
Wow,
too.
French toast
yeah.
party.
I know. Wow. That's what's gonna happen tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Well, I had already set up because I can do my own space and,
Uh,
you know, the toaster over there.
is there
Jim
another
and
challah
Ilana
story?
joined us.
Yeah, I see Jim is here. Yeah, and I hear Ilana. Yeah.
Ilana, I heard.
Before we maybe sing another song and then share some more recipes, is there another challah story? There must.
Not much of a story, but I picked up a challah at my local craft type bakery, LMNOP bakery in Katona, and it was quite good.
That's a good story. Was it? Can you tell us a little more about that challah? Was it yellow inside? Was it shiny?
It was yellowish. It was definitely braided. It didn't have any seeds. I generally like to have poppies or sesame seeds on it. Didn't have any seeds, but it was a good challah.
That's a good story. Classic. Hi, Jim. Hello. Okay, I think
Hey,
maybe.
Jonathan, good to see you.
Hi, Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you. We're talking about challah, because Parashat Uma tells us about lechem hapanim.
Yeah, hi, everybody.
Hi, Ilana.
Hi, Ilana.
Good to see you.
Keep going. Keep going, Yoni.
What I was going to ask, if you have good challah in New Haven, what's the challah condition in
We
New
have the
Haven?
best challah in New Haven. I bring New Haven challah to Brooklyn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What makes it so special?
Well, it's a health food store that makes the challah, a place called Edge of the Woods, and it's had several different bakers, and I was a little worried one time because it was very salty, and I didn't call up right away. I said, but next time, a couple of weeks later, I said, huh? Anyway, but so they said, oh, we'll give you 2 free challahs, and I'll tell the baker. It's just really good. I get whole wheat with sesame seeds that they make special for me, I think. Yeah.
Whole wheat is good. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? How's everybody else's challah?
We heard from Dawn, who has a special challah. Susan told us about the smell of challah in Israel.
Oh,
Yeah, I lived across the street from a bakery, so it was early in the morning on Fridays. It was
oh, yeah. Where was that?
Ramat Gan.
Ramat Gan.
Was the bakery in Bnei Brak or in Ramat Gan?
No, Rehov Uziel in
Uh-huh.
Ramat Gan.
And Naomi told us about bread pudding made from challah, which is
Haven't actually done it yet. Going to. I make bread pudding, but I haven't done it with challah.
Aha, okay.
You brought that to me.
You can't go wrong, right?
Maybe we can sing Lecha Dodi, and
Yes.
And then since Jim is here, maybe we can ask him his thoughts about the lechem hapanim in the Torah. I'm interested to know. And yeah, okay.
Well, isn't it about two loaves? Is that part of it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very, very relevant. Yeah.
So we're trying to sing together. Let's see how it works.
Oh, not muting? Without muting?
Yeah, without muting.
Wait, let's try. Let's say that if we feel that it's too much, we can mute. Yeah. Lecha dodi likra yadada nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi yadada nei Shabbat nekabela שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד שמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי ידדה בני שבת יקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה קום מצאי מתוך ארצך רב לך שבט בעמק הבכה והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה ולך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה ידדה בני שבת נקבלה אוי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי קלה, לך דודי בת קלה, ידדה ידדה ידדה, מי שבת מקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, ידדה ידדה ידדה, מי שבת מקבלה. So, about the lechem apanim, the bread of presence, or the bread of display, I read this discussion between Rashi and Rabbah. One says that the panim, the face of the bread, is facing God, and the other says that the face, the bread is facing the community and all the sides of the Mishkan. And it's interesting, and Levinas kind of like talked about these two aspects, um, and he said that whatever is facing God is also facing the community, which was very interesting, I thought. And also he says that the main purpose of the bread is to feed the people, the sons of Aaron, that they don't have the piece of land of their own, and they need bread, and that's what gives it the holiness. That it's the people of the bread for the hungry people. And I thought that was really beautiful. I like Levinas anyways, so it's always like this.
Where in Levinas? Where in Levinas did you find that? Do you remember?
I'll double look and I'll send. I don't have the original. Yeah, I don't have it here. But I'm gonna look for it.
Great, yeah.
Rabbi Jim, what do you think about this bread, about lechem apanim?
I love what you said, and I love that Levinas picked up on it, since the human face for him is so important. He thinks the human face carries a message, which is "Thou shalt not kill." He actually, it doesn't, if you take what he said literally, you understand that he's out of his mind, which in some deep sense he might have been, since he was enraged with Heidegger, who he believed his philosophy was polluted by his having become a Nazi, and Heidegger was his teacher. So he thought that Heidegger couldn't see the human face. And his whole ethical structure is about that, about being able to see the vulnerability, the nakedness.
And the eyes too, right?
Oh yeah, of the human face. Yeah. So I've been struck for a long time about this called lechem hapanim, the bread of it's. So King James, I think, calls it showbread or shoe bread. Showbread, yeah. Whatever. They had no idea what it is, but it's supposed to. Is it not? Yonatan, tell me. Isn't it a memorial to the manna that fell in the midbar? So
I didn't read about that, but it makes a lot of sense because that's what they ate, and
yeah.
And it's also it has some kind of structure and design, like it's designed like a memorial maybe.
There was I think there's a place I'm really I'm not certain about but it's interesting, and that is that there's a concern that the manna be kept in a jar, like, because it's going to stop, right? When we enter Eretz Yisrael, the manna stops falling. And we suddenly have a responsibility to grow wheat and do our own, our own agriculture. But in the midbar, we were fed. So so that may or may not be connected. In my mind, it's connected, but I'm not certain if it's textually connected to the showbread or the lechem panim that was there on the altar. I love what you said though about it being for the poor. I just wanted to say, in terms of bread, I oftentimes do the Pirkei Avot statement, Im ein kemach, ein Torah. If there's Im ein Torah, Im ein kemach, if there's no flour, if there's no flour with which to make bread, well, then there's not going to be any Torah. People have to live. But it also says the opposite. V'im ein Torah, ein kemach. That somehow the existence of wheat and the ability to grind it into flour is somehow contingent upon um, our being mitasek b'Torah, caught up in the study and the work of Torah. So the first part's easy. Obviously, you got to take care of Jews and make sure they have food so they can study Torah. But the second part, that there wouldn't be Torah, there wouldn't be bread if there were no Torah, that's a harder one to grasp. So I think a lot about that. And that bread would be associated with face is not obvious. And that's why I like what you did with Levinas in terms of facing God, facing the community, facing responsibility. There's something very deep there. Last thought, bread, lechem. Misha's written about this, about lechem and being connected to milchama, war, and
Same root, you have to explain.
same root, yeah. The
Hebrew.
lamed chet mem, lechem and milchama seem, I don't know if they're the same root, but it seems more poetic than etymological. But there's Misha wrote beautifully about the well, the relationship between bread and war. Part of it is the friendship that can happen in contexts of war, and that's captured by the English word compagnon, which means with bread, breaking bread. That's the source of that word for friend. But the other part of it is where there's insufficient food, we'll go to war. And that's got so much to do with Ukraine, which was a breadbasket for the world, and the cause of, or a source, an object of war. Anyhow, those are just my thoughts. But the notion of the presence of God at the altar, symbolized by bread, is very, very deep and worthy of further pondering.
Yeah,
I-
I know.
I want-
remember. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
Keep going.
No.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I just, when Jim was talking, I was just thinking, the blessing, the general blessing you say for a meal, and technically you should be eating bread, but it's hamotzi lechem min aretz. It's the central food blessing, and we're evoking God. So it's like, it's kind of the gratitude of having food is all bound up, with hamotzi. Yeah.
Well, then also, so we're going to have to get
We'll
this.
let you go.
You're going to learn, Jonathan, not to say, Jim, Ilan, what do you think? But and that is that bread does require incredible human effort. I mean, it's it's up there with, in terms of human inventions. It's incredible that we discovered that, worked that out. Amazing. And so to associate that with panim, face, presence, and with God, I'm just reviewing what we've already said.
Last thing. Now isn't there a holiday that's something about bread and not having enough time to bake the bread?
Oh, yes.
So there, it's Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Well, thank you. Yeah, I remember that we talked about Misha's letter about lechem and milchama. I think maybe 3 months ago. Yeah, and the milchama is still going on, and yeah. So I shared before that one of the things that made me think about talking about challah and lechem today is that when we thought about this Shabbat, I was working on my challah song, which is a song that I'm working on for the toddlers that I teach, like the Shabbat lessons on Friday mornings, and I try to make it not so repetitive and come up with new songs. So maybe I'll play a little piece of this new song, which is it's called "It's Gonna Be Fluffy." And we're gonna need flour, we're gonna need yeast, a little bit of honey, a tablespoon at least. We're gonna need an egg yolk and some salt, a cup of warm water, and off we go. We're making challah for Shabbat. It's gonna rise up, I have no doubt. It's gonna be fluffy as it should. The nicest challah in the neighborhood. Whoa, oh, 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 making challah for Shabbat. It's gonna rise up, I have no doubt. It's gonna be fluffy as it should. The nicest challah in the neighborhood. Whoa. I'm still not sure about the nicest challah in the neighborhood. It's competitive, but
I like it. I
I
love it.
think it's
Perfect.
right.
That's
on.
wonderful.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm happy to share it.
Irresistible, like challah. No, Rebecca, I just want to say, Rebecca, aren't you in Colombia? Are you, Rebecca? Yeah.
Oh,
Am I
no,
mixing you up with someone else?
you're mixing me up with someone else. I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay, never mind.
I wish I were in Colombia.
What's the best challah in Brooklyn, by the way?
Saskia Rifkin's challah.
Uh-huh.
We
I
all
thought I
know
saw
that.
Saskia here.
Everybody knows
yeah,
that
there
at the
she
new
is. Yeah,
I really like, we call it the Hollis store, which is Ostrovitsky's on Avenue J and probably around like 12th Street.
Uh-huh.
I say that's the best challah, second to mine.
In Manhattan or Brooklyn?
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn, okay.
in Midwood.
Okay. We'll try it.
You got to go all the way out to Avenue J though, so come say hi to me.
What's the name of the bakery?
Ostrovitsky's.
How do you spell that, please?
That's a good question. It's like, well, because we usually call it the Hollis store, but it's like OSTE. Wait, you know what? Let me look.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's OSTROVITSKY, 1124 Avenue J.
It sounds like a long challah.
Found it. Whoa.
Thank you.
Cool.
It's great. Everything is great. As great as carved desserts can be.
I'm beginning to think about Kiddush. Does anyone have wine for Shabbat? I see some wine. Good. Would maybe someone wants to lead it? Audrey, you seem to have like a very nice Kiddush cup.
Yes, isn't it pretty?
Very nice. Wow.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Amen.
And now for the big question, who has challah?
How did the kids respond to your song, Yonatan? Did they enjoy it?
I think they enjoy it. It has a lot of words, so I made these cards. I'll show you. Wait a second. I made these cards with all the ingredients.
Oh, wow.
My plan is there's two of each, so we're gonna play a memory game, and I hope that by Pesach they'll know kind of like I'm looking for the time where when they can sing it with me, and like like all the yeah, but it's very sweet. Yeah.
Looks great.
So let's do a motzi. I'm gonna open the challah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
That's a New Haven challah. It's big. Whoops. Does it last a couple of days at least? Yeah.
Depends how many people are eating it. I mean, yeah.
Who would like to lead a motzi? Someone with a
Lana, you
start?
have that, huh? Yeah.
Yonatan, you're the challah man. You do it.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן. Last week we mentioned the first day of Adar on Friday. I know that happiness in these times is a bit tricky, but still, Misha, 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 נכנס אדר. Misha, 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 נכנס אדר. Misha, נכנס אדר מרבין בשמחה. מי שנכנס אדר מרבין בשמחה. Maybe faster is happier. מי שנכנס אדר. מי שנכנס אדר. מי שנכנס אדר מרבין בשמחה. מי שנכנס אדר מרבין בשמחה. Well, it's so nice to share challah thoughts and stories and songs. And it makes me feel like Shabbat is coming, which is...
It's here.
We made it.
Thank you for ushering it in.
Thank
And
you.
Jonathan, I think you should do a whole album of songs for kids. I think
Yeah.
everyone.
Oh, thank you. I recorded one during the pandemic. I recorded one in Hebrew. Achat u'shtayim, 1 and 2.
Oh.
But now I did this week. I released a new children's song, which is it's called Shamayim v'Shemesh v'Shnei Ananim. It's also for young Hebrew learners, and there's a little YouTube. Maybe I'll ask Susan to share it. It's nice. It's I put it on. It's on Sonny Rollins' St. Thomas. טדם טם טדה דה 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 שמיים ושמש וגם שני עננים.
That's great. That's
It's
great.
really nice, and that's actually much more simple than the challah recipe song, and it works much. It's much easier to sing it with the kids, but I'll share it with you. It's fun. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I meant that I'll share the recording, but the way it works is שמיים ושמש וגם שני עננים. שמיים ושמש וגם שני עננים. עננים, 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 גם שני עננים. עננים, 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 גם שני עננים, שמיים ושמש וגם שני עננים.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice, yeah, it's St. Thomas is really nice. So I like, yeah, I like the way it works with the Hebrew, kind of simple. Yeah. um, Shabbat shalom, everybody. So nice to see
Shabbat
you.
shalom. Toda rabah.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You.
תודה רבה.
B'teavon. Bon appetit.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Don.